And the postseason keeps rolling along here in the Tri-City area with more action to come. Now this week, we saw the Prescott volleyball team vanquish Walden Grove Tuesday in the state play-in round, 3-0 the final score there. Then, unfortunately, they went down to Cactus Shadows Thursday for the first round of state, and they lost down there 3-0 to end their season. The Bradshaw Mountain volleyball team almost made it to the Sweet 16. Curse almost. They had a pitched battle with St. Mary's on Tuesday in the state play-in round, but fell 3-2 in that match. The last two sets decided by just 2 points. Then on Thursday, it was cross country's day to shine with the section meets. Great job by Chino Valley as their girls finished in second place at the Metro section meet, with Zoe Nagel ending up the section runner-up. The Chino boys were 6th. Both teams qualified for the state meet. The Bradshaw Mountain boys, they placed 3rd at the Northwest section meet and qualified for state, as did Sarah Harmon, who individually on the girls' side, she came in 13th place. The Prescott boys and girls, they also qualified for state. And going to step away from postseason talk for just a second here, because we had some big doings on the college basketball court. Now, Yavapai College, the men's team, they mounted one heck of a comeback against New Mexico Military Institute Wednesday night, beating them 81-79 in overtime, with Prescott grad Jason Parent recording 26 points. And speaking of Prescott grads, Wednesday was the collegiate debut of Uriah Tennett. He came off the bench for New Mexico in its season opener with East Texas A&M and tallied 14 points. Now, I know, when Uriah played for Prescott, we were used to seeing him rack up 30, 33, 35 points. Heck, one game he racked up about 56 points. But when you consider it's his first game in college at the D1 level, with probably every other guy out there on the court taller than him, and he notches 14 points, that's pretty darn good. So congrats to Tenacious T on that. And oh, by the way, Tenacious T and the rest of the Lobos are in action today versus Texas Arlington. Now, we return you to our local postseason coverage because we had more of it yesterday. The Embry-Riddle men's soccer team, they unfortunately fell to La Sierra in the GSAC semifinals. Score there was 4-0. Also yesterday was the GSAC championship meet for cross country, with the Embry-Riddle women coming in second. Just 1 point. One measly little point behind the Masters University. However, Sophia Noriega, she was the individual conference champion, so congratulations to Sophia. Also, some good performances by a few local products. Prescott alum McKenna Bray, she came in 13th place for Riddle. And Chino Valley product, Carly Murphy, she was 15th. Of course, this is her first season running collegiate cross country. The Riddle men, they were also second at the GSAC championship meet, and also finished behind the Masters University. Yeah, the Masters has a really, really good cross country program. And Chino Valley alum Dylan Eisner, he finished 4th in that race. And the postseason action doesn't stop there, because today, the Embry-Riddle women's soccer team, they host Hope International at 2 p.m. in the GSAC semifinals. The Prescott and Bradshaw Mountain swim teams, they will take part in the state meet at Mesa's Skyline Aquatic Center. And for next week, the number 1 ranked Prescott flag football team kicks off the 4A Conference State Playoffs. The opening round is set for Wednesday. Who will they be playing? Don't know. I mean, I don't know now. A few hours from now, we'll all know, because the AIA will have its selection show, and I believe that's going to start at around 10 a.m. So this show will be over by the time that gets going. But don't worry, we will tell you who they're going to be playing. And, of course, the big thing is, that game will be broadcast on our sports station, The Team, 1450 AM KNOT. Also, Bradshaw Mountain, They will be in the playoff mix as well. They are the number 12 seed in the state PowerPoint rankings. And also Bradshaw Mountain tackle football. They will take part in the state playoffs. The number 3 ranked Bears will face Grand Canyon region rival Coconino next Friday at 7 p.m. The number 14 Panthers took care of Mesquite 29-22 in the opening round of state last night. Now, this could be a really good game here in the Sweet 16 because during the regular season, the Bears and the Panthers, they had one heck of a battle. Bears coming out on top of that one, 28-21. So who knows? We might be in for another thriller over at Bradshaw Mountain High School next Friday. And, you know, speaking of football, something kind of away from the gridiron, but still connected to it. Something I've noticed for, well, maybe like the last 2 or 3 years, but particularly this year, is the fact that so many high school marching bands have just dwindled in size. Now, some of you may shrug your shoulders at that, thinking, oh, whatever, this has nothing to do with the game. But to quote Arnold Schwarzenegger from his famous movie Commando, wrong. Bands can get you pumped up, especially during critical times of the game. They provide entertainment at halftime with their field shows. They just add to the overall atmosphere of a game. In fact, good example of that was Wednesday when I was over at that Yavapai, New Mexico Military Institute men's basketball game. They had a pep band there, and quite a few of the fans I was around, they were really enjoying it. And like I said, it just enhanced the overall atmosphere of the game. And as a former band nerd myself in high school, it just bums me out to see such a low turnout for so many high school bands. And I'm not talking about the smaller schools. I mean, I'm talking about schools at the 4A level where, given the student population, you should be able to find several dozen musicians for your band, along with a bunch more people for the band front. And when I say band front, I'm talking about the pom section, the flag section. But now I go out to games, and I've been seeing high school marching bands who size-wise are only slightly bigger than the entire clarinet section was for my band at Nottingham High School. So why is that? Well, there was a mini doc I saw on YouTube a while back, and darn it, I can't remember the name of the channel who produced this. But what they were talking about is why fewer younger people are forming their own rock bands, which I think dovetails into participation in marching band and concert band. And the main gist was, let's say prior to the 2000s and the prevalence of social media and smartphones, when kids got bored, they went out and they found stuff to do. And for many of them, that involved picking up an instrument and playing it, which in some cases leads to forming rock bands or joining their high school bands. Nowadays, for a lot of kids, when they get bored, they just whip out their phones and they stare at the screen for hours. Hey, why should I sit there and practice and practice and practice and take forever to get better at an instrument? I can just pick up my phone and enjoy videos on YouTube or TikTok and play video games. Except, I wouldn't consider that enriching or helping you develop into a well-rounded person or getting a sense of accomplishment that all those hours and days and weeks of months of practice pay off when you do that field show or you do that concert. Plus, it also makes you appreciate music more. If it wasn't for my time in band, I may not have developed a love for classical music, and I may not have gotten into symphonic metal or even new age music. I think schools, I think also parents, need to step up more and get kids more interested in playing music. Look, school can't only be about getting good grades. Yeah, it's important, but so is turning out well-rounded kids who discover a talent that they may otherwise have never even known they had. And also in band, building friendships and learning to work as part of a unit toward a common goal. And most importantly, something that will carry through their entire lives, do not get discouraged when you start playing an instrument and you suck at it, because that's going to happen. No one is going to pick up a violin on Monday and by Friday sound like Lindsey Sterling. It's going to take a lot of practice, and it's going to show these kids that if you want to achieve a goal in life, any goal, it's going to take a lot of work. But in the end, when it all comes together, it will be oh so satisfying. So hopefully we can get, the schools more interested in getting more kids more interested in music, and we can see those numbers in our high school marching bands start to rise. And who knows how that is going to help kids develop into well-rounded people as they leave high school. All right, folks, 928-541-1016, number to call here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. Again, 928-541-1016. You heard me talk about the Chino Valley Girls Cross Country Team, the section runners-up for this year. Well, we have representatives of the Chino Valley Girls Cross Country Team on the show. I've got their coach, Mark Metz, here, and he brought two of his runners, Eliana Metz and Zoe Nagel. So we'll be talking to them not only about the section meet, but also the upcoming state meet and just their cross-country season and careers in general. And we come back from break, and we'll be back right after this. And we are back here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. John Rust with you here in the studio with me this morning. I have representatives from the section runner-up Chino Valley Girls Cross Country Team. I've got their head coach, Mark Metz. I've also got two of his runners. Got Zoe Nagel. We got Eliana Metz in here. Guys, good morning, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning.
And well, Coach, before we get going, I just realized this before we went on, where I guess you now wear the title of the Dean of Tri-City Area Coaches, because you have actually been the coach for the Chino Valley Cross Country Team for now, 24 years?
Yeah, that's crazy. When you said that, I just turned 50 this year, so man, I feel old.
Okay, so let's go back to that day. How did you become that first year? How did you become the coach for the cross country team?
It was interesting. I was at Heritage at the middle school, and my wife just moved over from Bradshaw, and then she called me, and this is in the days before cell phones, and we only had one cell phone. I shouldn't say before cell phones, but we only had one cell phone, and I was at the dentist, and she calls me, and she says, "I have some interesting news to tell you." That was the message. I'm like, what? Found out the coach quit. It was a week before school started, and then it was like that's our experience to that, and then just some crazy stuff happened. But that was our introduction to the high school cross country coaching.
And I can imagine at that time you probably never thought you would be coaching it for 20 plus years.
I know it seems crazy, or like I'd stay at Chino because I was at the middle school for a while, so I was kind of teaching at the middle school and then coming up. But yeah, it's crazy to think about.
Okay. And, well, as I said, we had the section meets go on Thursday. Chino Valley coming in second place there. And, second place as a team. Zoe, you were the runner-up as an individual at the section meet. And, I guess a really big triumph for you because you actually missed about half the season with an injury. So just talk about what that was like for you, dealing with all that and still coming on in second at the section meet.
I think it's like an annual tradition for me to be injured at the start of the season. Last year I had a stress fracture in my tibula or fibula, I don't know which one. But this year I had really bad plantar fasciitis in my heel, and I had to swim, and it was a really big change from running to swimming. I didn't like it. I don't want to go back. But yeah, I had to watch from the sidelines, and that really helped me like grow my love for it again. And whenever I came back, my one goal was just not to get injured again and just do whatever I could to stay healthy. Mm-hmm. And yeah, sectionals, I don't know, it was just really fun, and I kept my head up, and I just felt really good.
Yeah. And Eliana, good performance by you at the sectional meet as you came in 6th overall, again, to help your team get the section runner-up. So just your thoughts overall on the Cougars' performance there at the section meet.
I think everyone had a pretty strong race. Like, none of us were – like, we were all really nervous going in because last year we won, and we were, like, hoping to repeat again. And we didn't, but I'm still so proud of everyone because we all showed up and did our best.
And like I said, Coach, last year was a great year for Chino girls. Section champions, 7th at state. So obviously I imagine the pressure and expectations were really on you guys for this year, huh?
Oh, yeah. And, we were trying to repeat, and ALA West Foothills, who ended up winning, they were just a really good team. They're pretty young, but they really came on. And, when you lose people like we did with Carly and then Maddie, that really hurts, but we had a lot of people step up, and that was good.
Yeah. And, of course, both Carly and Maddie now running at college. You mentioned Carly Murphy over at Embry-Riddle, and she placed 15th at the conference meet yesterday. And what about Maddie? Where's she at now?
Well, she's at Wisconsin Lutheran.
Okay. And also Quentin Metz, who had a really great career at Chino Valley. He's also running at college, and he's at the D1 level, and he's actually not far away from where Uriah Tanet's playing basketball, huh?
Yeah, he's at New Mexico State. He's loving it there. He didn't have a great season this year, but he got a little injured and then stepping up. So I think stepping up from junior college to Division I is, like you were saying in your monologue, is a tough thing. Division I is amazing, and so hopefully in track season he'll get it back.
Okay. And then, of course, Zoe, leading up to sectionals, you had a bunch of regular season meets. Well, unfortunately, you missed some of them. One you didn't miss was the Southern California invite. In fact, you have finished 23rd in that race. So talk about what that was like, going out of state and running in what I imagine was a pretty big meet with some really good runners.
It was really fun. We always go, and we go to the beach. We go to Knott's Berry Farm. Mm-hmm. So it was a bunch of stuff to do right before the meet or the days leading up to the meet. And I thought the meet was really fun. I was a bit nervous for the meet because there was a huge hill that we have to go up twice. Mm-hmm. But it ended up it was pretty, not easy, but it was fun. Mm-hmm. And I feel like everyone did really good there. Mm-hmm. We had a lot of PRs, I think. I PR'd by 40 seconds, but yeah, everyone did really good there. And it was really fun. That's probably one of my favorite meets that we go to throughout the season.
Good. Okay, so now I got to ask, what was your favorite attraction there at Knott's Berry Farm?
Oh, I really like hang time. Mm-hmm. The wait is really long, but at the same time, it is just like...
for those who may not be familiar with it, what exactly is hang time?
It's where you... they put you up at a 90-degree angle, and you were just laying on your back straight up, and the rest of the ride is just loop-de-loops and whatever. But the first half is straight up. It's really scary, and you feel like you're gonna fall out the seat, but it's really fun.
I can imagine. So, Eliana, I imagine that you also had a pretty good experience. Actually, you came in 25th at that Southern California invite. So, just your thoughts on being able to compete in a meet like that?
Yeah, it was really fun, and the course is super like pretty. Like you go up this huge hill right off the bat, kind of. But then you go down, and there's a whole area, and it's just really pretty. There's like a little lake, so it just went by really fast, and it's fun.
Okay, now I got to ask, what was your favorite thing about going to Knott's Berry Farm?
I don't really like the scary rides as much, but there's this one where you like flip upside down, and you're like, I don't know, it's called the Silver Bullet. Yeah.
Okay. And, Coach, kind of going back to what I was talking about, being part of band and, just having a, fulfilling, enriching experience for high school, and how high school, it's not just about grades. You go there on business because you want to run in that Southern California meet, but just talk about how important it is for you to have your boys and your girls on the cross country team do that kind of stuff over in California, do stuff away from that invite.
Yeah, when we became cross country coaches, they had been to the Stanford invite and been to a couple other out of state invitationals like in California. So we decided to do that. We did it our first year. I went to a meet in Santa Barbara, and it was a lot of fun, and we just kind of kept that up. I think the next year is when we went to New York City for a meet. Yeah, and we've been to a meet in San Francisco, but most of the time we just go to L.A. area. But this year, the last couple of years, we've avoided L.A., and we went to Oceanside, San Diego. It's a lot easier to get in and around. But, yeah, the kids love it. I mean, cross-country's a hard sell. It's not as you don't have a lot of people signing up for cross country. So, I mean, this is one of the things we do. We raise money at our fundraiser, our local 10K at the start of the season, and we do these trips because there's a lot of good memories.
All right. Well, folks, in the studio with me today, I have Coach Mark Metz from the Chino Valley Cross Country team. I also got two of his runners, Zoe Nagel and Eliana Metz, in the studio today. And we're going to be talking with them a little more on the other side of the break, talking about some of the other meets they've been into, why they got into cross country. And, of course, oh, yeah, I didn't tell them about something here. I'm sure you listeners know what I'm talking about. So I'm going to spring a surprise on them on the other side of the break. Oh, man. Oh, the looks they gave. They're like, what's going on? Oh, man. Maybe I should have told them what was in store for them before the show. Nah, why should I do that? Like anyone's ever accused me of being a nice guy. Oh, man. Well, anyway, folks, before we go to break, as always, it's time to see who shined over the past 7 days as we present the Tri-City Sports Roundup 3 Stars of the Week. Starting with the ladies. Our number 3 star is Emma Barber of the Embry-Riddle volleyball team. She notched 14 kills and, in the process, reached 1,000 kills for her collegiate career in the Lady Eagles' 3-0 loss to Arizona Christian last Friday. The number 2 star is sitting right across from me. It's Zoe Nagel of the Chino Valley Cross Country team. She finished second at the Metro Section Championship meet on Thursday. And our number 1 star of the week is Mackenzie Proffer of the Bradshaw Mountain Volleyball team. She posted 36 assists in the Lady Bears' 3-2 loss to St. Mary's on Tuesday. Now for the guys. Our number 3 star is Alex Pierce of the Yavapai College basketball team. He hit the game-tying three-pointer at the buzzer and ended the night with 10 points in the Rough Riders' 81-79 overtime win over New Mexico Military Institute Wednesday. The number 2 star, well, stars, I guess. It's actually a duo here. Number 2 star, Alan Hendricks and Yoshiya Funakoshi of the Embry-Riddle wrestling team. They were both champions in their weight classes at the Falcon Invitational last Saturday. And our number 1 star of the week is Jason Parent of the Yavapai College basketball team. He put up 28 points, in the Rough Riders' 83-71 triumph over Northwestern Colorado last Saturday. Then on Wednesday, Parent notched 26 points in Yavapai's 81-79 overtime win over New Mexico Military Institute. Congratulations to our 3 stars of the week. Break time here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. We'll be back with more right after this. We are back here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. John Rust with you here in the studio with me today. I have Mark Metz. He's the head coach of the Chino Valley Cross Country team. Along with two of his runners, I have Zoe Nagel and Eliana Metz. And I think it's time we find out a little more about their teammates because it's time for Lightning Round, which I did not brief them about before the show. And now they're going, what did we sign up for? I don't know if it's what did we sign up for. It's be like, what did Coach Metz drag us in here for today?
That's more like it.
Yeah, I was going to say, is this more like a volunteer or voluntold thing?
Exactly, voluntold.
Okay, so Zoe, I'm going to start with you. Who on Chino Valley Cross Country would you say is the best dressed athlete? Who's just the team fashion plate?
I would say probably Summer Smith for just like out and about like during school. I would definitely say Summer Smith. And for the boys, I don't know if I would say any.
Just a bunch of t-shirt and jeans guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can relate to that because I still consider myself a t-shirt and jeans guy. Okay, Eliana, who on the Chino Valley Cross Country team would you say is the funniest person? Who just keeps you laughing all the time?
The funniest, probably Summer Smith or Trinity Gray. They're just really funny. And they just like do really funny things all the time.
Coach, do you think you can break that tie or what?
Well, I think, Summer is kind of a spaz, and she's always been a spaz. I would say Trinity is more quiet, though, at times than Summer, so I'd say it's probably Summer. For the boys, I think they're all kind of weird and silly, though.
Yeah.
Especially Jacob.
So maybe that can be my I'm always looking for nicknames, so maybe for Summer Spaz
That
Smith.
works,
All
yes.
right. I can only imagine her listening to this going, oh,
I
no,
know.
why would you do that,
Exactly.
Coach?
You know, she knows. She
Oh,
knows.
yeah. Well, yeah, she knows, but now all our listeners
Exactly,
know.
yep, that's good.
Okay, Zoe, who on Chino Valley would you consider the most serious person?
Oh, for the girls, I would probably say Ellie. About the sport, I would probably say Ellie. On the boys, I think I would probably go Ty.
Oh, okay.
He's like a grown man. So
Yes, yep.
yeah, he seems like he has like a mortgage. So
Nice.
I'd probably say Ty.
Oh, congratulations, Ty. Oh, man. All right, so Eliana, who on Chino Valley would you say is probably the most talkative person on the team?
The most talkative? I'm trying to think. I feel like on the boys, Jacob, he just talks to people from like random teams. It's also kind of funny because he wears like a Spider-Man costume to meets, and he'll just go and like take pictures with random teams, and it's it's really funny.
Oh, man. Oh, okay, so I'm trying to picture a runner in like a Spider-Man outfit.
Yes, it's always like after the meet and stuff.
Yeah.
so.
It's not pretty.
Oh, I think what you need to do is get out the cell phone and play the old Spider-Man cartoon
Exactly.
theme from the 60s.
Yeah.
Yep.
Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Hey, that was a big part of my childhood growing up, that Spider-Man cartoon. All right, Zoe, who would you say on the opposite end is the quietest person on Chino Valley?
Ooh, probably none of us. We're all really
Yeah.
For the girls' side, I'd probably say Bella. She's one of our freshmen. I don't know. She just doesn't really. She does talk whenever like we are talking with her, but at the same time, she doesn't really just talk like all the everyone else. On the boys' side, I'd probably say Andrew. I feel like I've never heard him talk.
Yeah, that's true. Yep.
He just kind of sits there on his phone. So.
What was I talking
I
about?
know. Exactly.
Oh, man. Okay, so Eliana, finishing this up. Who on Chino Valley can eat the most in one sitting?
Probably honestly me. But yeah, I feel like all of us eat a lot. Like after meets, we go and eat, and we just eat a lot all the time.
And well, Coach, speaking of food, we were talking about this before the show because we were talking about a couple of years ago. I had one of your guys, Tony Mackey, in here for track and field, and he talked about his eating regimen for track and field, which I think involved like Sour Patch and marshmallows and all that, which I'm sure really made you happy when you heard that.
Exactly.
But I guess you have a certain kind of diet that you give your runners, I guess, after a practice, and it came from another one of our local cross-country coaches. So what can you tell us about that?
So there was always the thing the last few years, like chocolate milk, because it's high in protein and high in carbs. Well, I was we were at Emory Riddle's meet at the start of the season, and we're just talking to Coach Bray, and he's a talker, and I love talking to him and just listening and whatever it is, he's just very captivating. And he after every hard practice, he gives them chocolate milk and fruit snacks. And so I looked to my wife and I said, we're going to start doing that. So we did. And so after a hard workout, the kids are like, where's the chocolate milk and where's the fruit snacks? And so we make sure we don't give them non-fat. We give them whole milk and the chocolate milk and then fruit snacks. And I was trying to buy them last minute, so I was at Safeway, and I got the Dino snacks. And the kids like that more than the other fruit snacks. So it's kind of the Dino snacks is the go-to.
All right. And, well, we talked a lot about the section meet, the Southern California invite. Another meet that Chino Valley girls took part in, I think all the local cross-country teams did. It was the Desert Twilight meet where you're actually running at night. Zoe, I'm not sure. Were you involved in that one, or were you injured at the time?
This year I ran at Twilight.
Okay, so, I mean, for those people not familiar with the Desert Twilight, I mean, obviously cross-country is a pretty tough sport as it is in the daytime. Talk about what it's like running at night.
It's really fun. They have these big floodlights at certain points, but there's one section of the race where it's really, really dark, and you go around a lake, so you have to kind of just like avoid the puddles, but you can't see. So it's kind of like a steeplechase. It makes it really interesting, and it keeps you in the race, I think. I like it.
Did anyone fall into the lake during that meet?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, man. Well, that would have made a good story. And Eliana, one of the other things about that is, I've talked to other runners who've done Desert Twilight in the past, and one of the things they say is that they have those neon glow sticks around the course, and some of the runners even wear the glow sticks. And I guess you ladies are also wearing some other glowing items. What can you tell us?
Yeah, so like at all our other meets, we all have like matching bows, and so we thought for Twilight, it was Zoe's idea. She was like, we should get glow in the dark bows, and it was really funny because like whenever I just saw them running, I could just see like glowing bows in front of me, and I knew it was like my team, and it was so fun.
And I mentioned this before the show, Coach, and I want to get your thoughts on how cool this would be. And I don't know if this would ever be in the budget. Well, you know what? Maybe the Arizona National Guard can donate some of those. But imagine doing Desert Twilight with night vision goggles.
That would be crazy. When you mentioned that, it was like I can imagine the green and seeing you wouldn't know who the schools were. But I think the hardest thing would be, like said, the side. You couldn't see anybody, so I think that would be really freaky out. But yeah, it might be an interesting run.
So I'm going to put it out there. Anyone from the Arizona National Guard, because I'm sure you guys got a ton of NVGs out there, like sponsor Desert Twilight and give all the runners night vision goggles. That would be wicked awesome, man.
I think they might be falling in the lake too, though. That would be interesting.
Yeah, and then they're going to say, yeah, thanks to you, John. We got about like 8 or 9 NVGs that are ruined.
Yep.
Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, given the nature of military operations, I'm sure they got to be waterproof.
I would think so. You would think so, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, Elliot, this is probably going to be a really easy question. I think the answer is obvious about how you decided to make cross country your chosen sport.
Well, like both my parents are coaches, but they would always, like, my mom was the middle school coach, so she would always take me to practice. And I always just, like, wanted to run with them. So, like, when I got into, like, 3rd grade, I started doing some races. And it was just, yeah. So I've just been running, like, forever.
Yeah, when your parents are cross-country coaches. Like, I guess you got no choice. It's like, well,
yeah.
No, we did give them a choice. They all played a lot of sports, but I'm glad they came into cross-country. But
really?
Yes.
Okay. Well, Zoe, since Coach Metz isn't your dad, how did you get involved in cross country?
We moved here in 7th grade, and I wanted to play basketball, and my mom said that cross country would help me get in shape for basketball. And as the years went on, I slowly got better at cross country and worse at basketball. So I stuck with cross country. It was a really good team sport. It's a really close knit environment, and I just liked it. It was really fun. So.
Yeah. And where did your family move from?
We moved from Rhode Island, but we've moved around for a long time. So.
Okay, so a fellow East Coaster. Okay. All right. And so Eliana, looking back on your cross country career, what would you probably say is the best course you've ever run on?
Best course I've ever run on. I'm trying to think. The Twilight courses are always really nice, really fun. And I think the Boulder Creek Invitational this year is just like the flattest course I've ever run. Got a PR, so it was really nice.
Zoe, what about you? You agree with Eliana or what?
I couldn't run that meet, but I'd probably say the old sectionals course. They changed it up this year, and I don't like it as much. But the last one, I used to PR on it almost every time, and it was really fun. Okay.
So would you say that this year's sectional course is probably the worst course you've ever run on, or is it something else?
No, it's not the worst one. It's just annoying. But the worst one was probably my freshman year whenever it was 110 degrees.
Oh.
Yeah.
And Coach, I believe you said one of those meets, it was Horizon Honors,
Yes.
I think it was?
Yes, it was down in the valley off like southern Phoenix. Yeah, it was horrible. It was unseasonably hot because it was at the end of the year, and then the last over a mile was a straight stretch, and you're looking right into the sun. And it was, and then you did a loop around the grass. Everybody hated that course.
And Eliana, I guess you really hated that course because you had interesting experience there.
Yeah. Like my whole freshman year, I had really bad iron deficiency and I didn't know it. So like at a lot of courses I would pass out, but especially that one, I passed out like less than a mile and it was just so hot and not fun.
Yeah. And of course, one of the things with cross country is, obviously it's a pretty grueling sport. You're running for, what is it, Coach? About 3.2 miles?
3.1, yeah.
3.1.
3 to
Yeah.
3.1.
So Zoe, I guess the interesting thing is when you ladies cross the finish line, it's not just like you can kind of slow down and go, that's it, huh?
Yeah, the best part about cross country is finishing. The only thing I look forward to is like, oh, I get to sprint and then I'm done. And most of the time you see people or the girls just like fall and all the helpers there are just dragging them across the finish line and everyone's yelling, move, get down the line. And it's a really interesting thing to watch if you're conscious enough.
Yeah.
I know, because I know, Coach, in my experience, like interviewing cross-country runners after a meet, I usually got to wait about 10 or 15 minutes because they got to do cool down, get their breaths. It's no good to interview them right after. It's like, so, your thoughts on this race? It was really...
If they're standing up, usually they're leaning down or on the ground, yes.
Actually, one of the funniest was I think I interviewed one of the winners for the Whiskey Row Marathon,
Oh, yeah.
and I had to wait about a half hour to get an
gosh.
interview with her. In fact, I remember like going up to the woman who won it. I think she was just like lying down, looking to sleep behind one of the tents, and I'm like, yeah, I guess I'm not going to interview her now. I'll just do something else. But I guess that's another thing. Do you encourage your runners to maybe get involved in some of these races? Like Whiskey Row Marathon, it's not just the marathon, but you got like a 10K, a 5K. So do you encourage some of your runners to get involved in that?
Well, Whiskey Row's difficult. It used to be at the end of May, so I would have some runners participate in that because it was usually after it was actually before the state meet. Sometimes it was on the state meet, but Whiskey Row's in October now, so it's the middle of the season, so no. But like this summer, we went down to Phoenix in July, and we did a road race down in the valley. So sometimes during the off seasons, we'll do something. They have another one here that we did last year, the Santa Run, and it was in December, and so you dressed up in the costume. So I know like some of us went and did that race.
Either of you two?
I did it. It was like we had Santa beards on and just Christmas sweaters. It was really fun.
So was there anything about dressing up as Santa that maybe affected the way you ran or what?
I mean, it was really cold, but it was really just like funny. Like it was just like out there having a good time.
And the prize was an ugly sweater. So
Yeah,
they got an ugly,
we got really ugly sweaters.
Carly and Maddie and Eliana got ugly sweaters.
Yeah.
How ugly were they?
Very ugly. One of them had like metal pieces like on, like just like taped on or something. I don't.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you this: don't ever wear that to Sky Harbor Airport, man. They'll throw you in handcuffs.
Yes. Yep.
So Zoe, are you thinking of perhaps taking part in the Santa run this year? Okay.
You have to get those ugly sweaters, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, man. Well, Coach, just a couple minutes left here. State meet, I believe, is going to be next week. Where's that going to be?
It's at Cave Creek Golf Course in North Phoenix.
Okay, I think they've had that there for quite a few years now,
I think
right?
since 2008 or 9. Yes.
Okay. So what are some of the things that you're going to be doing with your runners in order to get them ready for that meet next Saturday?
Well, this one, it's interesting that cross country's kind of gone away from like hills and hard courses, and they've gone mostly flat and fast. Eliana was talking about Boulder Creek, barely had any hills. It was really fast. But this one actually has quite a few hills, and they have rolling hills. So last year we took the team out to Antelope Hills, and we practiced just kind of going those up and down hills and doing that. So we'll just work on that, and just besides doing the physical workouts mentally, and just let them know that, hey, sectionals is over. We lost to ALA West Foothills for these girls, but let's beat them at state now. So kind of the mental and physical part of this.
All right. Well, again, folks, we're coming up to the end of the show here. I want to thank Coach Mark Metz and his runners Eliana Metz and Zoe Nagel from the Chino Valley Cross Country team, this year's section runners-up, and certainly wish them all the best at state, along with the Chino Valley boys. They'll be there, too. But Coach, Eliana, Zoe, thank you very much for joining us here on the Tri-City Sports Roundup. Like I said, best of luck to all you guys at state.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
All right. Well, hey, folks, we got a college football doubleheader coming up for you today on the Team 1450 AM KNOT at 1 p.m. We've got Indiana versus Penn State. Then after that at 4:30, it's Florida versus Clemson. Also, remember, Wednesday night at 6 on KNOT, we've got Prescott flag football in the opening round of the state playoffs. Don't know who they'll be playing, but we'll find out soon. And you can actually come and check me out tomorrow up at Pine Ridge Marketplace, formerly the Prescott Gateway Mall. I'm going to be there for their artisan market, and I'll be selling my books. All 24 of them.
Wow.
Would be 25, but I haven't gotten the latest copies of my new one. More weird and interesting stuff from World War II. But I'll be up there tomorrow, 9:30 to 3:30. All right, folks, thanks for joining us, and I will see you again next week. Have a good one.